Going once.
Sure, we love inspirations here. Um, so we started the whole session with reconvening around um, fuck, do I remember? I don't remember, sorry.
We picked up with going to get Leuven where he was at.
Yep.
Okay, so that's where it started. Fair enough. We were going to pick up Leuven to get the chalice and Leuven. When we arrived there, it seems like the city is a bit of in a bit of a lockdown. We sent Kevin down to the house, and Kevin found one of the council members, a new one which we haven't met yet, at that house, who was a child of a granddaughter of a celestial. They kind of explained to us that the country is requisitioning the chalice for its restorative power to cure the epidemic. This person was brought up to the ship. Tsabo brought down to retrieve the chalice in place of Leuven, and we found out that Leuven had been killed in an interrogation to retrieve the chalice. So anyway, we pick up the chalice. We agree to help this lady in exchange for her promising to help us get what we need from the council afterwards. We do a risky wish to cure everyone, but seems like the chalice has lots of extra charges, and we don't actually murder a bunch of old people. Fly back where we meet Naya with the daughter, and we had to kind of give up Naya um, just so that we can distance ourselves from the thing, but hoping to kind of get her acquainted as we are put on trial with a couple of other council members, where through some luck and convincing skills of this lady that's helping us now, Naya is acquainted of her crimes. We are allowed to keep the chalice, and in fact, allowed to administrate the city of the elderly, whatever it's called, in order to keep using the chalice for the benefit of everyone, or whatever the reasoning was. But they did not allow us to retrieve the child from the terrible, terrible education camp, where they get 3 months off. Sorry. uh, Naya is upset. Kevin gets told off. And Alvarius shares information with the council about demons on the horizon. We get suggested a mission to go find some dwarves if we have nothing better to do. And I think that's kind of where we left off without deciding the next steps.
Yep. And then there was Luthen who was brought back.
Right, of course. Finally, they did bring back Leuven, and Leuven had lost most of his memories. Well, not most of his memories, but Leuven's head all jumbled up. He's old and not old, and still thinks he's married to Kevin. In all sorts of bad shape.
Yep. So, picking up where we left off, what would you like to do? Nilvarius, just in case you've been saying anything, I haven't heard anything from you in a while.
I haven't. I actually I went to the bathroom real quick and I got back right as Sabo started doing the
Okay.
recap. And then I'm assuming was there an update because my sheet was all weird.
Oh, sorry, I
now I
have
have-
to set. Give me a moment, and I will restore it back to the way it should be. Sorry, I had a variant rule toggled on for one of the continents. There we go, sheet should be correct again.
There we go. Thank you.
Alright. So with everyone on the ship, what would you all like to do?
Well, Navarre spends time with Leuven, just like working with him, see what exactly he's lost. If he lost his magical ability, how jumbled up his memories are, and we'll start trying to piece what we can back together. So I spend time working with Leuven.
Yep. And the rest of you?
I need to start coming up with a plan for curing Greystone's curse. So I'm going to be working with Yesla to see what ideas she has in mind so far, and then trying to start researching other things that we might need, like resources to help break that curse.
Alright. And what about you, Saba? Just so you know, I can't hear you.
Oh,
I'm presuming
sorry.
you're AFK.
So yeah, no. I mute myself sometimes and I forget. Right. Uh, as a first kind of order of business, since I've lost Leuven as a semi-reliable chalice filler, who may or may not have used wishes on his own, I am going to sort that situation out, and I think I outlined the plan for you roughly. I'm going to integrate it into the dead people disposal pipeline. Kind of in a way that no one has access to, but there, charging up when it's set on charge.
Keep in mind the way that Leuven was doing it before was he was basically killing the person. Well, as the person's life was failing, he was beginning to harvest the blood then and modifying the memory of any what are they called? Attendants in the area.
Um, does do you have to do it that way?
Well, you guys don't know how long after the person dies they still count as a charge.
Well, I and we have no way of testing it right now, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Well, we know that it is sometime. It's not like you have to kill him into the chalice.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to make sure that the pipeline is speedy and people are checked up upon several times a day.
All right.
Maybe maybe make some adjustments to the to the arrangements. Create like a special care unit where people who are really about to kick the bucket are brought, so they can get the proper care. So to
All
say.
right.
That should alleviate the most of the delays.
All right. And who are you putting in charge of this?
Begin with, I want to say that I will need to spend some time there until I kind of expand my network a little bit. That direction. See if my but also see what Astral would recommend.
Astral thinks that you should put them in charge.
If they're happy to be in charge, then I will put them in charge.
All right.
But yeah, unlike the last situation, the security reasons, not have anyone accessing the actual chalice.
Okay, so then how is the blood getting to the chalice?
So imagine there's like the morgue table, yes?
Yep. So you're just gonna have
And the
it drain from
morgue
there
table
into.
and drain, yes, exactly.
Okay. That's gonna take a few weeks to set up, but it will be done.
Yes, I understand. That's why I said that I will go there for a bit, set everything up, make sure everything is fine. Uh, make sure nobody's is going to fuck me, or do the best I can to make sure nobody's going to fuck me.
Okay. Nilvarius.
Yes.
Leuven is really struggling. With each day that goes by, he seems to be rejecting this reality more and more. He's struggling to express complex ideas, needs, wants. They're all jumbled up in his head. On more than one occasion, you hear him ask you,
Navaris just remains patient with them as much as he possibly can and tries to reduce things down to like simpler and simpler tasks as as much as they go. Obviously his understanding of time like has completely like been removed. They don't really he doesn't seem to remember anything in the correct chronological order. So he probably tries to work with trying to create a time trying to get a timeline to give him some sort of sense of structure, just to get him some sort of grasp. But he just does his best just to remain, just to be patient with him and just help him along, even if it's something you know basic and simple.
Yep. Seems to really be quite the struggle with him. But he never gives up.
His old resilience that I knew when he was younger still is shining through, I'm assuming.
Yep. It's the only thing that really seems consistent about him. He will let death take him when it plucks him itself, and not a moment sooner. T-Rain does bring you a bottle, though.
A bottle?
Yeah.
A bottle of what?
It's labelled as extremely
sorry.
dangerous. It appears to be a poison.
When he gets
For
it,
if it gets to be too
hands it back.
much.
If it gets to be too much, I'm not going to do something so impersonal. He just hands it back to him.
He nods and takes it away.
Thank you for the temp, Terrain. I appreciate it. But I'm not ready to give up on him yet.
He nods in agreement. Okay. Kevin, you and Yesla are making quite little progress. It comes down to you simply needing more than what you currently have available to you.
Do we know what other things we might be needing? What other things might help?
You're not really too sure.
Does she think it's a good idea to try to find some other resources that might know more about curse breaking? Or even see if the council knows anything or might be able to point us in a direction?
Could be a good idea to ask the council. Otherwise, trying to find some sort of magical item that could assist could also be helpful.
I think I'll start with the council and see what they have to
Alright.
say.
Which of the council members would you like to approach, or would you like to approach the council chambers? Council chambers is by far the fastest method to get in contact with them.
If I know where to find Maylee's, I might try to find her first.
Well, you know where
Otherwise.
home is, in air quotes.
I'll try that first.
Okay. You approach our home and you notice someone trailing you.
I'll stop and look to see whoever's trailing me.
The commoner walks right up to you. Hello.
Hello.
You're a Celestial.
Yes.
Which one are you?
What do you mean?
Which Celestial are you?
My name's Kevin.
Kevin what? What's your name?
Just Kevin.
No job?
No, not really.
I see. Well, just Kevin. What are you doing?
Just gonna go see if I could talk to Maylees.
Why?
Because I need help.
With what?
Breaking a curse.
On yourself or someone else?
Kinda, sorta someone else.
What do you mean?
It's like a whole lot of someone else's. It's like a whole area thing.
How'd that happen?
It's kind of a long story, but someone's grandma was mad they killed someone.
Okay. Well, Maylees isn't in town.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just go find the rest of the council then.
Okay. The person walks off. Where do you go?
To the main council chambers.
Okay. So, you're brought in, and you see both Paragon Ziff and Linzel.
All right.
Ziff stands up. What can we do for you?
How much do either of you know about breaking curses?
Linzel cackles. like the high-pitched, repeated version of a chuckle. It's a little
So
obnoxious.
so I take it you might know something?
Yes, I do.
So
You notice that
I
she's speaking
am
backwards.
I'm trying to help break a curse on an area, and I need help.
I'll give you a little bit of assistance if you give me some assistance with something that's bothering me.
I mean, that sounds fair. What's bothering you?
The dwarves.
He'll just look himself up and down.
Not you, dwarf. The other dwarves.
What about him?
Dwarves are exceptional miners, and we want their ore.
Okay.
You are going to go there and make sure that we can get some of their ore. She says, having expected you to put it together yourself.
And I'm gonna guess that you won't help me with my thing until that's already done, right?
Correct?
Well, that's really not ideal.
You'll figure it out.
So where are these dwarves?
Well, there are ones to the northwest. Sorry. Yeah, northwest. And then we suspect there are some to the southwest.
And about how far away are each one?
Northwest closest. They can't be more than probably a week's travel by boat from the capital. Well, by your
And
ship exactly.
what kind of ores are you expecting them to provide?
adamantine.
So am I just like setting up a trade deal or something? Like, I'm gonna need you to spell it out a little bit more for me.
Well, dwarves aren't exactly fans of trading with humans.
Looks to himself and the other two. Literally no humans in sight.
It's best that they do not learn that this is a human nation. Do you think that will be possible?
I mean, maybe. I can try. What are you wanting to provide them for this adamantine?
We do not know what dwarves would value it at.
So you're really just gonna leave me in charge of all of that?
You alone? No. You would bungle it.
Okay, so what's the plan for that not happening?
That is where your associates come in.
Okay, but you do realize that our associate, like in charge of trading and merchandise and whatnot, is a human, right?
Yes, but he is not the cleverest among you. I'm sure you're capable of working it out without him. And if you're not, then this is something that we must assign to someone else. Which just means I can't help you.
I'll see what I can do.
Alright.
Once we wrap things up there, I'll go back to the boat.
Alright. And when you get back to the boat?
I will let Yesla know what I have found out, and then try to gather the party to let them know that we need to go find some dwarves.
Yester is not convinced that doing this for these people is a good idea.
Well, doing this for them is what will help us cure Greystone.
That is why I'm not sure.
It's the only lead I've got so far.
I know.
I mean, if we still had the pages of the actual spell, we might be in a better situation, but I think we're going to need her help since we don't.
She seems unsure.
What are her specific concerns?
She doesn't like what these people did. Where's my phone keep going? She doesn't like what these people did to Leuven, and she's worried that they might do it to you if you fail them in any way.
Well, then I guess it just won't fail.
Talk to the others before you agree to take this on.
All right, I'll go find him.
Okay. You'd probably find Nilvarius first.
You'll find him where he's probably been. Still with Leuven.
All right. Kevin will knock on the door.
It's open.
Hey, Navarius.
Yes, what is it?
So I'm trying to work on finding some way to cure the curse on that Castle Greystone. And so I talked to the council, and Linzel said that she could probably help, but she needs help from me first.
Probably.
She wants us to go to a dwarven settlement nearby and get them a trade deal with adamantine. And then she'll help.
I don't necessarily oppose it because it is a trade deal. It's both ways. All we actively are is just the people arranging the deal. I'm more concerned about whether or not Linzel has the capacity. Is she aware of the scale of what exactly we're asking of her?
I mean, she didn't ask, but she seemed pretty confident. Like when I asked about curse breaking, it seemed pretty trivial to her.
I'm willing to help in this, but I would suggest specificity and making sure that she's actually confident and that she actually can follow through. I would hate to have wasted our time to make this arrangement for her and she turns around and she's not actually capable of following through.
But if she is capable, then we should do it.
Yes.
All right. I will go clarify.
Okay, you get back to the council.
Yep.
You get into the chamber, and the two are still there. Have you come to reject our proposal?
No, so I have been informed that I should probably make you aware of some more of the details of the curse to make sure you are capable of assisting before we accept the offer. So
And
the
what
curse we're
details of
trying
those?
so the curse we're trying to break is a primal curse. It affects a whole like area around a castle, and we believe it's like 14th rank magic.
Her eyes narrow at that. Then my assistance will not be as complete as you might have hoped. Still, it may be the best you can get.
All right. In that case, then I think we are good to go.
They nod. Okay.
So head back to the ship.
Yep.
Gather everyone up.
Alright.
Is Sabo gonna stay and deal with his chalice stuff, or is he gonna come with us?
How would you go without me?
If you gave Nia permission to fly the ship,
Uh,
that would be the
what
other way.
is this urgent?
I mean, kinda.
Yeah, but I'm busy. Go in like a few weeks.
I'd
Remember
rather.
we told to administer this whole city? I've been the only one setting it up.
I mean, I feel like this is probably a little more important.
Take you in a few weeks.
I mean, it's not like I can take the ship without you, so I guess.
Okay. So you're gonna wait a couple weeks before going?
If
Gonna take you just a bit under 3 weeks to get the chalice stuff set up?
if they tell me about the human situation, I would recommend they spend this time looking for uh, um a non-human trader to bring with us. Otherwise, it's gonna have to be terrain.
I would mention that, so I can start looking around to rent a merchant.
Alright. Let me see here. Alrighty. Sorry, just doing a quick bit of math. Can I get a society check from you, Kevin? That appears to be a private roll. 29.
There you go.
In that time, you don't find any who aren't human. That being said, nearly 100% of people that you come across are human.
Yeah. That's alright.
Okay. Sabo, in the 14 days, you get the process set up, a lot of the people who work there are initially quite horrified. But there is some restructuring done. And after the restructuring is done, the people who are in charge of handling this are fairly reliable. They don't seem to complain.
Yeah, but what is the real complaint?
What was the initial complaint,
Someone-
or
Yeah.
the destruction of a body?
Well, not destroying the body. Oh, well, what do they usually do with the body?
They bury them.
Okay, so they can still bury them.
Sorry, taking a step away. I'll be right back.
In fact, this way they can preserve the body.
Yes, but this is blood magic.
Well, not everyone has to know that it's blood magic.
Well, no,
And,
they don't know anything about the chalice. They're talking about the fact that you're harvesting the blood. That can only mean blood magic to them.
uh, it is not blood magic.
The only reason they're going to believe you on this is because you're a Celestial. Which in any other nation would only make this worse.
Yeah.
Okay. So after the
Well,
restructuring...
hopefully that also mitigates a lot of the unhappiness in general and requires less restructuring.
Well, anyone who was even remotely problematic was basically put somewhere in a building where they wouldn't be problematic.
Yeah, there's plenty of other parts of the city.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back. So after the 14 days, would you like to take part in this voyage? Would you like to make them walk?
Yeah. I mean, I want to make them walk, but I'll go.
Alright. So, you guys set out. Can I get... Are you travelling at a careful pace, or are you travelling at a regular pace?
Especially while we are in the country's borders. Maybe
Sorry,
even
you
start
cut out a
getting
few times
dodgy.
for me.
While we're in this country's borders, we're definitely going fast traveling.
Alright. Can I get
Does Sablo have any?
60-10, please? What were you saying, Nilvaris?
I was gonna make a dumb joke. Does Sablo have any unpaid speeding tickets?
Mm.
No, just unpaid taxes.
Someone else do this D10s, please.
I'll get it.
Nice and clear travels. As you see a mountain off in the distance. A single mountain. It's rare to see just one. It's quite tall as well, not as wide as you would expect this mountain to be. Would you like to all approach?
Yeah, I suppose a little bit more carefully.
Okay. You approach the mountain carefully.
Look for a place to land.
There's not really anywhere good to land on the mountain itself. But as you do circle the mountain, you do see that there is some sort of metallic door at the top of it.
Like this is a good opportunity to let Nia steady the ship, and we can go knock on the door. Do we bring terrain?
No.
No terrain. Do we bring? What do we know about elves and dwarves? Elvaris would know all about it.
I imagine that there's some amount of animosity, but Nilvarius, he has, like specific dealings that he's had before in the past. So I imagine that he's probably
A single
comfortable
dwarf
in
on
person.
their own is awesome for an elf. They are a fantastic companion. You get any two dwarves in a room together, and they become awful to put up with as an elf.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds fine. Assuming
Okay.
assuming elves in your setting are very clan based, like most dwarves in other settings are.
Dwarves are the most loyal of the most loyal people. Oaths are believed to have originated from dwarves.
Oh,
A dwarf that breaks their promise is almost unheard of. They are shunned by their entire society.
and when Novaris tells us that, I'm going to look at Kevin and say, "Are you sure you should be going in there?"
I mean, it might not be a good idea.
But it's the same thing. They also are like, obviously they don't tolerate deception of any kind. They prefer upfront honesty. Correct?
Yep.
I don't necessarily think it's wise to simply throw, to leave Kevin away, because even though while they are a very oath-driven people, they don't take kindly to any form of deception or lies. So the reality of who they will be trading with, it's something we cannot lie to them about. If the
Might as well
uniqueness of
bring
Kevin,
terrain then.
exactly. We don't want to create deception. We don't want to actively lie. We have to just simply convince them that whatever dealings that they make, that it actually is in their best interest, because ultimately they're going to be getting something in exchange.
Makes sense to me.
Yep.
If they somehow know the nature of what's happened with you, Kevin, it would be they might be sympathetic to the fact that you are a celestial, and when you made your oaths, you were still too young to understand the true width of what your promises were. They might be sympathetic to it. They still might be a little harsh, but being upfront and honest is gonna be important. If you're questioned.
Okay.
Well, take us down.
Okay, so if you travel from the base of a mountain to the top, that's going to take about a day.
You said there was a metal door at the top, right?
Yes.
Was that like a horizontal door?
Yes.
Was it big enough for the ship?
No. It is about
Okay.
10 feet across and 15 feet high.
Well, what I'm thinking is we can get off at the top. Like, we can't land the ship anyway, and Nia's staying on the ship, so...
Alright. So, you get off at the top. Someone casts Featherfall, I assume?
But at this point, we have ropes to go down. Not
Fair
just
enough,
Yeah,
that
we
would
can
make
just-
sense.
We can just rappel down.
we can also go down quite low and not have too far to climb. The ship is very...
Yep. Okay. You guys get off at the mountaintop, and written on this door you see... who of you can speak ancient human?
Navarius knows everything, knows every language.
Beneath this gate lies a realm of stone. The mountain does not suffer fools. The deep does not forgive trespass. Here dwells the first forged, stone-hearted, oath-bound, flame-fed. Their halls are not yours. Their wrath is not kind. Their silence is not peace. Turn back, child of dust. Bring no greed to the gate. Linger not where steel sings and gods sleep.
I translate all that.
Doesn't sound very welcoming.
Well, I said trespassing isn't welcome, so we should probably just knock and ask permission, right?
That was
Yeah.
something I thought of as well.
I'll knock on the big door.
You hurt your hand. And the door does not make a sound.
Any sort of magical auras or anything around?
No, but this is adamantine.
Is there actually a seam that we can actually see, so it is intended to be opened?
Yes.
Would it be possible to post the text?
Yep, I can do that. while you're working on that, I'll be right back.
What does Child of Dust refer to?
That's one of the parts that confuses me too.
Probably ask James for a society check when he comes back. Feels like it'd be reasonable.
Sorry about that, I'm back now. Okay, so what's the plan?
Can I attempt to, as I'm looking through this, can I actually attempt to decipher writing society check to try to discern the meaning of the message?
Sure. Okay. It was meant as a meaning. Oh, sorry. It was meant as a warning to the humans of old warning them not to enter the dwarven lands. You're not sure if it still applies to people of the common area. It doesn't seem to have been updated in a substantial amount of time.
Okay. But its intended was to be directed towards humans then, basically.
Yes.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, it likely is directed towards humans of old, especially considering that it's written in ancient human. Likely they haven't interacted with humans in an especially long time.
Okay.
Not especially helpful for us to understand how we're supposed to get inside, but we're not exactly humans of old.
I mean, if you think we should go in, is the door locked? Can we just like push the doors open?
Athletics check.
$36.
You push, and there's a tiny creak as you see the stone start to give way beneath it, and the door begins to open slightly. Next, athletics.
I will attempt to assist with my measly strength.
All right. Together, you guys get the door open.
Various.
It's
really
okay.
Really wants to go to the dwarf. Really wants to go to
Kevin, the first step is always the most difficult. Kevin started the momentum of pushing the door open.
Kevin was pushing against, like, the doors are double doors. He was pushing against the furthest right part of the door. Navarius walks over to the middle and tries to push it open there.
Yeah, that checks out.
That does sound about right.
So
Okay.
what do we see once we open these doors?
A dwarven Everburn torch.
Oh, what again? I'm sorry?
A dwarven Everburn torch.
Assuming it's continual flame of sorts.
Yep, it burns red.
Is it held in a sconce or in a statue?
It's just sitting in a torch. And the torch is just sitting... what is those things called? Oh yeah, it's a sconce. So you could grab the torch from there if you'd like.
I cast light.
Yep.
So we have a little ball of light following us.
That works. I just have greater dark vision, so it's fine, but yeah, that works too.
Hello? Anyone home?
In the far distance, you can hear something.
Is that an echo?
In ancient dwarven, I call out down the corridor. Sorry. Hello, is there anyone down these hallways?
You're still just hearing something off in the distance. It's almost rhythmic.
We'll start heading that way then.
Yeah.
All right. After about 10 minutes of traveling, you're noticing that some sort of rhythm. It's getting louder.
Sound like it's a forge being forged.
This appears to be some sort of steep ramp as well.
Is it
Going
like
down?
is it like spiral because it's on the very top of the mountain?
It's not a spiral shape, but it is a triangular shape.
It's gonna be a pain in the ass to go back up.
Doesn't seem the easiest. Kevin, you'd be noticing that the triangle is exactly spaced out for about 10 dwarven steps.
Interesting.
Okay. So, the further you go down, you start hearing this.
We start hearing heroic dwarven music.
It seems to be echoing up the entire mountain.
Kevin's having a great time.
Kevin, you've got a +3 status bonus.
Given Alvaris's history with dwarves, hold on, I need to actually turn that down a little. Sorry, that was deafening. Given Alvaris's history with this, is this kind of thing common in dwarven holds?
This theme in particular is the Dwarven Anthem. Each stronghold has a slightly different variation of it, but it is the Song of the Dwarves.
Oh, just for their culture as a general whole?
Yep.
And they are okay just blasting it on repeat 24/7.
Yep, they are completely unfazed. They do not wear out of it. They do not grow tired of it.
Fucking autistic dwarves.
Yes, and?
I've never heard this variation before.
I like it. It's catchy.
I was going to ask, do you feel any difference? Or dwarves that I've heard before, that I've seen in the past, they feel quite invigorated by this music.
Oh yeah, it's nice. It's good working music.
How insightful. Let us proceed.
Yep, as you get further down, you hear the clanking of metal. Metal on stone.
Kevin, you may not be particularly very much of a drinker, but I could suggest you pick up the habit while we're here. I've never known a dwarf to not enjoy a drink.
I've drank some weird stuff in my time.
I know you have, but how about something that's actually good, maybe? Something that isn't deadly, perhaps?
I mean, I'll
One of the
try.
best way, it's one of the best ways that dwarves really form relationships with other dwarves and even non-dwarves. Last time I've got to know a clan of dwarves, I became quite ill, and that's the best way that I gained their respect.
As you
You will,
turn one of the
however, will
corners,
likely be unfazed.
you see her mining away. Navarius, you're reasonably sure it's a her. That looks like a woman's beard.
What would the normal dwarven greeting in your setting?
There isn't a standardized dwarven greeting. Really, it's anything other than violence.
Okay.
Hello.
In ancient dwarven, good day. How is your pick treating you?
In modern dwarvish, they say, by the flame, it's a flamin' elf. Blasted hells are you doing here? Oh, a gnome. A dwarf.
Hi.
I brought him with me.
And is there a human with you, Train?
Yeah.
Yes,
And a human.
it's okay.
He's really
With
chill.
me.
Rightio. What brought you here?
Oh, we were looking to see if we could talk with whoever's in charge about a trade agreement with a nearby nation.
Oh, well, that's at least.
Haven't heard any word of any nearby dwarves.
No, it's not dwarves.
Ah. Who is it then?
That's a nation down to the you said we went northwest, so this will be southeast.
Yep.
They're called Ventrix.
I haven't heard of them. What's their deal?
Oh, they're a nation that just is pretty spread out, and they. Oh, James, what's the term for their type of organization? Meritocracy.
Yep.
They're
Yep.
they're a meritocracy that uh, is just looking to get access to some adamantine.
Meritocracy.
A
Yeah.
representative meritocracy, as far as I understand it.
Ain't that the damnedest thing? And on the
Certainly
surface,
different.
too.
Yeah.
Probably some elf running some experiment, I presume.
Actually, the council is a mixed bag, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Of elven clans or of different races?
Different races.
Different races.
How about that? Well, I'm Bongor.
Hi,
It is good
Bangor.
to
I'm
meet you.
Kevin.
Is she speaking in just modern Dwarven as like a normal language?
Yep.
Or is she speaking? Okay. I'm assuming everyone here knows Dwarven.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all learned Dwarven before they learned human.
While we are here on business, I would very much like to meet some of your people in your clan. I have a certain appreciation for Dwarven clans. Each one of them is similar yet unique.
And we have an appreciation for for elves.
Can't wait to see what brews you guys make to get myself sick with. Always wonderful, but always makes me ill. Can you direct us, Buggar? Buggar? I forgot what the
Bongor.
other
Bogor.
name was. Bongor.
Sorry,
Bongor.
Bongor, and then it's Bogor.
Bongor.
No bongo bongo.
No, Bogor is the king. All the dwarves here have gore.
Ah, so the king is
Oh,
Bogo.
Bogor is the queen, sorry, my mistake.
This person is? Wait.
I will give you one guess at what the name of the king is.
Is it just Gore?
Gore.
Fongor.
Oh, that's the
So
wrong fourth
close.
letter, James. It's the wrong fourth letter.
Well, the king should be down. He should be overseeing the forge at the moment.
Is it okay for us to just go talk to him?
I don't see why not. You gonna be problems?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. If he does not like what we came here to offer, and he asks us to leave, then we will do so without incident.
So be it. Smack away at the stone they go.
Thank you.
Just
Okay.
from a glance, all of her equipment is
You don't recognize the
quality,
metal.
I assume.
Everything they've got on them is +6 quality.
Oh, fucking hell. I mean, they just sit inside the mountain, mine and craft. Fuck knows how they eat.
Rock.
Nice life.
Okay. So as you guys get lower into the area, the music becomes stronger. The stone begins to vibrate. And then you see the cavern open up. And you see what is making the rhythm. It is the forgers. The forgers are pounding like drums. Each of these forges is like the size of a building. You see dozens of dwarves moving throughout the cavern, some of them grabbing chains of metal that are being produced by the forge.
See, I told you it was good working music.
I don't need all these chains for.
Do you just say that out loud?
Oh, not too loud, but I'm
Okay.
assuming Kevin and Alvarez will. Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I look around and
Well,
like
they've
try
been
to guess what they're crafting?
digging this for a while. This probably continues.
Like,
Sorry, I couldn't understand what you said, Nilvarus.
No, it's fine. Sabo's doing what he's doing anyway.
okay. So I'm wondering, what could they be crafting if they got a bunch of building-sized forges with a load of dwarves hammering away? So can I try to piece something together here?
Could be some sort of large scale project. What they would need, probably miles of chain for, you're not sure.
Is the chain the main thing they're producing right now?
Yep.
So all of these forges, is it a massive chain or is it just a chain? Just a long chain, also, how thick is the chain?
Okay. So the chain is about, what will that be? A third of an inch thick.
So thin chain. Kind of.
And it seems to be quite dense. So it's almost like
Okay.
it's being used to make some sort of chainmail. They're making sheets of chainmail, but quite large chainmail. This is giant size at least.
Okay.
No dwarf or human could wear this.
Do we
Oh.
see anyone around that looks like the king, or someone who looks to be overseeing everything?
You see this individual.
That looks like a king to me.
Every so often you see him go over and smash at one of the chains, splitting the rack of chain so that the next batch can be made. Well, so that the next layer could be made, I should say.
Over to Congo then.
Oh, I'll wait for a time where he's just smashed a layer and then approach.
What is it, ye sprout?
Hello. I
Yes,
come
what is
from
it?
I come from another nation nearby that wants to set up a trade deal with you.
What nation?
The nation's called Ventrix. They're to the southeast of here.
What do they want from us?
Adamantine.
Why? What for?
They didn't tell me. They just said that they wanted it. They wanted to secure a trade agreement for it.
And who is this nation? What are the people?
Well, the people in charge of the nation are like a mixed bag of races. They've got a drow. They've got a. What'd you say Linzel's supposed to be?
Kitsune.
The kitsune. They've got a mind flayer. They've got a human. And I think there's one I haven't met yet.
He slowly raises his hand and everything stops, including the music. And what business do you have with any of those races? You're a dwarf, are you not?
Yeah.
Do I mistake your beard?
No, I'm a dwarf. I'm kinda.
Are you a slave to them?
No.
Are you
This country
bound
does
by
not
oath?
practice slavery.
No, I just wanted some help from them, and this was they wanted this help from me. That's
You
all.
They look at you. Novaris? An elf where a drow lives.
The drow in question is an exiled drow. I am a traveler. I do not count myself as a citizen of this nation.
Why do you not?
I prefer the road. I prefer the world. I prefer seeing other places. Staying in one place forever, in that matter, I find stagnant. It keeps me from being out in the world and helping others and learning new things.
You're a lost
Meeting new
elf.
people. What do you mean by lost elf?
You're not quite sure.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by lost elf? I've not heard this phrase before.
Lost, you've not found your home.
I left my home many years ago because I did not, the druidic practices did not agree with me. That place in reality is my home, though I have not visited it in centuries.
As I said, you're lost. Just because that is the home you are from does not make it your true home. He pounds on his chest.
I suppose my home has become amongst my companions here, and their flying ship.
Flying what? Where did you acquire a flying vessel?
It is the genius of this gnome, and he gestures towards Sabo.
Hello, little man.
Hello.
You have designed a flying
Celeste.
vessel, have you?
That I have.
Magnificent.
Forgive me, King. I believe this is rather rude, but we haven't even introduced ourselves. Forgive me. I am Novaris Ilvan. He gestures over to everyone else.
I'm Sabo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Clan King Thongor.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Clan King.
Nice to meet
And it
you.
is always nice to meet an elf. And a dwarf from another land. And A gnome with such craftsmanship as to make a vessel that can fly. Truly, I am impressed. Now, what business do you have here other than with that nation who wants to buy adamantine? Any at all?
I mean, I wouldn't mind meeting some more of your people and learning more about your individual culture. Meeting different clans and meeting other dwarves is always an exciting experience. Everyone has their own different sets of customs, their own brews.
Yeah, our business for coming here was primarily our dealings with that other nation, but like Novarius said, we could potentially stay for a while, and if that's what it takes to figure out this agreement.
He pulls over a worker and hands them his axe. He then slams his arm and foot on the ground with such force as there is a loud echo. And then he gets up and follows, well, and gestures for you to follow him.
I will do so. I'm assuming that starts production back up.
Yep. As he takes you down, the triangle ramp seems to go even further down, though this is a different one to the one that you were on before. Okay. As he continues down, he's going to ask you some questions.
All right.
So, what do you think of this society? The one you've been sent to represent?
Well, they're certainly different from a lot of the other ones we've seen.
It must be odd that they send adventurers, travelers, to represent them.
It would seem that way for pretty much any other nation but them.
Why do you say this?
So they are a meritocracy, and they have found us to be skilled in various dealings with other nations. Both, well, internal regions of theirs and other nations and whatnot.
Strange.
Plus, they just kind of like us.
What have you done for their people to make you like them so?
Well, at first, nothing. But then we did some stuff. We helped them solve like a revolution thing, and then stopped a plague.
A plague, you say?
Yeah.
I see. How quiet that all was. Humans always getting up to trouble. Poor bastards. And what did your clan think of all of this?
I don't actually have a clan.
What about your clan? They look to you, Sabo.
Same boat as Kevin. We're kind of
What happened to your
Close.
clans?
came into the world in a place where we were outside of clans. Where we
So,
met.
have you heard of Celestial? What that is?
Ah, fuck.
Why? Well, yeah.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Well,
Does he stop at that, or does he just keep walking?
he keeps walking, but it did slow his stride for a moment. He had to take 11 steps to make up for it. We have
Celestials, as far as I
encountered
understand
your
it,
kind before.
Celestials are quite the mixed bag. But these ones have proved to be a force for good. They've done good things. Otherwise, I would not still be with them. I would have left them a long time ago.
We have some slight experience ourselves with them directly.
Really?
Yeah, so you don't seem to appear like the abomination that we saw.
What do you mean?
With 6 arms and 4 eyes. 5 tails. And no spine to be spoken of.
Who was this monster?
James, do I recognize that description? Given I was at the
Yes,
ritual
you
site.
do.
Oh, I know that guy.
You know that guy?
Who is he referring to?
Yeah, it's Orn.
I was about to say we
That's
don't know any Celestials,
that's
but
Orn.
apparently we do.
I didn't realize he was a Celestial, but
Yes.
yeah, I know that guy.
I can assure you we're in no way affiliated with that person. He had kidnapped one of our friends, and Kevin spent a great deal of effort bringing them back.
Orn is the bastard responsible for the damage to the plane.
Yes. I've heard rumors of that myself.
If we were
That
stronger, we would have intervened, but
creature
unfortunately,
He appears to have stolen the craft of many dwarves. He knows our secret
Oh, that's terrible.
techniques. We have seen his craftsmanship firsthand, and it is beyond even mine. Only the clan's dedicated craftsmanship might exceed him still. He might be the best crafter of our age if only he was born a dwarf. He would be unmatched, unparalleled. His native technique combined with his natural talent and affinity, truly monstrous. And the things he has put this craftsmanship towards, tools of destruction. It is disgusting. As you can see, my experience with Celestials does not leave much room for good faith. As
No,
I
that's fair.
understand, you each have a native talent that you exceed all others at.
Would you like to know our talents?
That I would.
As you may imagine, my talent is crafting and engineering. I dare say I do try to not make world-shattering weapons out of it.
It's hard to kill Kevin.
I am not a celestial, so I don't have any such gift.
He chuckles at that. You keep Celestials in line. That is gift enough. He
You
pats
flatter me,
both
King.
Kevin
I try.
and Nilvarius. Sorry, Kevin and Sabo on the back, talking you both forwards very slightly.
Uh,
I
indeed.
try. I try. They still
Uh,
have much to learn of our world, but I try, but they don't require a substantial amount of guidance.
Yeah, to be fair, your experience with Orn is probably my experience with Orn is probably not much worse than, or not much better than yours, considering he kidnapped my goddess, drained her divinity, and then got me ripped in half twice.
What god do you worship?
Her name's Yesla.
Yeslarov?
James, do I know how to respond to that?
Yeslar of Fortune.
Yesla of Fortune.
And what brought you to worship a goddess of luck?
Kind of a long story. Saved her life a few times. And then she liked me.
I see. Well. Well. You are an interesting lot, I will say that at least. And this town stands behind you, knowing that you're Celestials?
Yeah.
Curiouser and curiouser. Do they
as
expect great destruction from you?
no, not at all. Can I? How much do you know about Celestials apart from the meeting of Orn?
I have only heard of a few. Do enlighten me.
Well, the truth is that all of us Celestials, we appear in this world um, of age, but with no personalities or uh, knowledge of the world. So I think highly depends on each individual exactly where they appeared and what their early experiences was that shaped them. This nation had met Celestials who helped them, and they had no reason to fear us. In fact, they still is in high regard for that, which is just as wrong as being scared of us. As we all we really share in common is lack of parents and a gift.
Curious fate to be born with.
Our story was that there was four of us. We came into this world on a remote island, not even big enough maybe for a tiny village. There was just the four of us, seemingly with remains of some tools that previous Celestials had assembled. But they were nowhere to be found. We had to survive. We had to build a ship to sail away. And eventually found our way to civilization. We met a lot of people in this world who didn't treat us kindly or fairly, but we also met people who did treat us well. And I think that we mostly take after them, the ones who have helped us. In return, we try to help others. The whole reason why, or perhaps the original reason of why we're here is Kevin wants to help some another people. Kevin requested help from the Council of Ventrix, and Ventrix had requested us to come here to solve this, to set up a trade.
In exchange for their help.
And when in no way in this chain is any destruction planned.
I might say I misjudged you. Or judged you too soon, I should say. I'll tell you what. We will consider the trade agreement, but in exchange, we're going to want the designs for one of those flying ships of yours so that we can make our own.
Yes, I can definitely share designs. I will warn you, however, I have two sets of designs. While I can share them both, there is one of them requires a unique component, which I do not believe there is any way of duplicating. And the other one, the original design, is quite complex, although I'm sure that it can be refined into something working as well.
A unique component that cannot be replicated. What if we were to buy it off of you?
Then, well, I would be out of a ship. That is, well, I'm sure that you would generous price. That is kind of my life's work. What we would use to travel and to help people. Now the ship would be restricted.
Hmm.
While it may be difficult to extremely expensive to assemble a ship without this component, it is still possible, and the designs could perhaps allow you to create something.
Well, will you allow
Very
my tinkerers to have a look at your ship and the designs?
yes.
Be at this point that you guys actually reach the bottom layer, and it is some sort of, well, the next layer I should say, it's some sort of stronghold, and he walks right up inside. He brings you all inside to what appears to be some sort of throne room. He walks over to the throne and sits down. Welcome to Castle High Point.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the highest of our 12 castles. Now, returning to the matter at hand, you have a flying ship that uses a unique component, and then you have designs for ones that are far more expensive from how you say it, and do not. How did you come to acquire these plans? Did you design them yourself?
Yes.
This must have been quite the difficult undertaking.
It yeah, it's to design and then build.
And does the nation possess any ships of these styles?
No.
Why have they not tried to acquire the plans from you?
I'm not sure, but I believe they're aware of the costs associated. And besides, we are, I suppose, perhaps there may be other reasons. The ships, well, the design requires. The one I use, I believe it can be modified. Arcane magic to be channeled. So the crew of the ship has to have sufficient mages on board to keep it afloat.
Or you could use arcane crystals, but yes.
Yes, well, I don't. Yeah, but yes, there is. There is. I, I'm not sure exactly why they haven't tried to acquire. I can say that that nation does explore the seas. I'm just gonna assume you're aware of the world has been shifting.
Yes. It's modified quite a few
Uh,
of our tunnels.
uh, so the nations above ground, they find themselves not knowing of their neighbors. It's one of the reasons we're here, but also that that nation in particular uses sailing boats to explore. And one of my first designs for the ship we used, uh, I have we have given to, well, sold to that nation, and they are making use of it.
I see.
Perhaps they find that sufficient. Not a flying ship, but yes, a mechanical ship that uh, perhaps even made to work on land. Thinking. Oh, am I disconnected?
No, you're not.
No,
I'm just
hear you.
fixing something.
Okay.
Right, I'm back. Well, if those designs... Mechanical. What do you mean by mechanical?
Uses some uses slimes to create motion and gears to transform one type of motion into another type of motion. The slimes just need to essentially be fed some waste going.
Curious. A strange innovation. I have not heard of an ooze-powered ship before. The concept is novel.
Insights from another world.
Yes. How interesting. How interesting indeed. Very well, so in exchange for an agreement for trade, you will provide us with both ship schematics?
Huh? Are we talking about the ship, the both the flying ships or the ooze and the flying ship?
Both the flying ships.
Yes.
Alright. Have a representative come to meet with us, and we will work out the exact details of how much and how often trade will be permitted.
Okay.
Give me a moment. I will contact Linsell right now.
I believe.
Sorry, go ahead.
Shouldn't we have? Do you mean a representative of our group or of the nation? We are talking for the nation. Shouldn't we just have Terrain work this out?
Out of character, does Terrain have access to like knowing what like the nation has at their disposal that they'd be willing to part with?
So you guys were basically in charge of getting an agreement for trade to take place. You guys don't know the inner details of exactly how much the nation has to
what
trade.
we needed, and
We
don't need
just
to go
basically
further.
we had to secure first contact and agreement
Okay.
that they will make trade. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're good here.
We're good.
Pretty
here.
much.
Okay. Thank you. Would you perhaps also be interested in the ooze power design?
We are not much for water.
Well, while I converted it to a motion for water, and converted to a motion for something else, transport along. Do they have?
Sorry, you distorted just then. Do they have what?
Do they have rails like mining carts? With
They
rails?
don't have carts, but they do have elevators.
For example, I saw some elevators. Perhaps they can be powered with it.
They almost certainly could, but the labor of a dwarf is more valuable to us.
It is valuable. Does a dwarf work the elevator?
Yes.
Uh, I do not wish to impose on your culture, where I suppose
I understand. You're used to working with humans, and humans like to subjugate all forms of creatures and beings to achieve their goals. The horses that pull their fields, for example. We are strong believers in our own strength and might to achieve our goals.
very noble. We'll keep that in mind.
In the meantime, I do a sending to Linzel
Alright?
and tell her the dwarves have agreed to open an exchange agreement. However, it is likely that you will have to make face to face.
We will send representatives. You'd get back after a few minutes.
They have said that they will be sending representatives to initiate the.
And what thoughts do you have of these sorts of representatives of their people?
I
They are a nation who puts their people first. That probably means that they would be looking for. They would be looking for something that benefits them. So you should be able to find something that's mutually beneficial.
Very well. Tell me, adventurers, do you have much experience in combat?
Have some.
Too much.
more than I'd care to admit.
There is a mighty beast that we have work to tame.
Kevin's eyes light up.
That who the chainmail is for?
Yes, it is.
What'd you find?
We thought we had found a sculpture of ore. Rare crystals and such. It turned out to be a petrified creature.
Oh.
What is it?
Oh no.
We are curious if you'd like to test your might against it.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, it would be interesting to have some perspective on the might of surface dwellers, that is. We could not promise that this creature would not kill you. It is still a ways away from being fully subjugated.
What is it?
We do not know its name. Though
Tubby.
we have called it... Where is that? Gargon.
Can you describe this creature?
Yes. Scaled much like a dragon, but its hide thicker, tougher. Protrusions throughout its body. Needles like blades. Its teeth capable of tearing through even the strongest of materials. And it grows stronger and larger the more it feeds.
Is that enough information to proc a knowledge check?
You can certainly make one.
That
What would it
sounds
be?
like it.
Knowledge planes.
Excuse me.
Sounds like a terrifying creature, and I can see why you might think we are mighty adventurers. I don't.
How big is
So
this thing?
that's a 46.
You're not sure. It sounds like a few different creatures, but none of them meet all of the characteristics that were described.
I'm assuming if I saw it, would that give me better insight?
Perhaps.
At the very least, I would like to see this creature. I may know a few things about it. What you're describing, I can think of a couple different planar creatures, which would make sense. I'm assuming you mentioned that the tunnels have shifted below, so you likely have a sort of convergence point where some other plane meshed in the caverns underneath. So if I saw the creature, I might be able to glean more insight from it.
You're welcome to face it if you wish.
Any chance I can see it before possibly getting maimed?
We do not have any way to access it without conflict. It is a massive fight every time we go to try and subdue it. We have lost nearly 100 dwarves in the process.
I am my combat capabilities are not as good as my craft, and I combine. Well, I use preparation to my advantage.
Did you
If I
have
was
any
to assist
pieces?
in subduing it, it would be through devices such as traps or other things that we could use.
You're welcome to use whatever traps you would like to. If any of you
Do you
could
have
succeed in subduing this creature, we would be open to rewarding you, perhaps with a full set of adamantine equipment crafted specifically for you. That is pretty much the highest honor a dwarf can reward someone with. Personalized adamantine is what they give elves or anyone who actually does something great by their standards.
Kevin's eyes light
I
up
believe that's
with
how
that.
you got your sword, Nilvarius.
Yeah, because his was part of a research experiment that he did with them dwarves. So yeah.
So receiving a
have
full
anything-
set of equipment is truly impressive.
Do you have anything from this creature? A thing, a scale, even a sample of its blood. I can use it
Yes.
to attempt to scry upon the creature so that I can actually get a better idea of if I can find anything out about it.
He hands you his axe. This blade is made of its scales.
Perfect.
Sorry, not his axe. He gave that up there. Does he have anything else? Nope, you guys will have to go back up to grab the axe.
I would just need something from it and using it as a focus for a scrying spell to see if I can glean information from it to give us a better idea about how to handle such a creature.
That
How
makes
big is
sense.
this thing?
No way to tell how large it is now. It grows with each passing day.
How would, if you were to subjugate it, how would you contain it? Keeps growing and
By restraining its ability to feed. For a time, we had it captured. Not long after, it broke free from its petrification.
so this is what the chains are for.
Yes, in part.
Quite a how is it contained now?
Contained now. It is chewing
Well-
its way through a castle at the moment. The adamantine bricks slow it greatly.
Not contained.
No,
Know of its
but
location.
this beast is within the castle. The 14th castle down. Where inside, I could not tell you. I could not even tell you for certain that it is inside. But, as far as I know, as far as our scouts have been able to tell, it has not escaped yet.
So the goal, to be clear, is to subjugate it, not
It cannot die.
What do you mean it can't die?
I mean, it cannot die. We cut it into tiny bits, and it regenerated.
James, is this sounding anything at all like a Guardian of the Gates of the Hells?
Quite possibly.
Because this is setting some alarm bells off for me.
Very well could be.
that sound like the one that
I mean, that doesn't sound that unlike something that killed me a few times. I don't really want to go fight it. I'm gonna be honest.
Killed you a few right. The celestial ability to restore oneself.
Yeah, 5 times. Um, the thing
Only
that
5
killed me,
times.
only 5.
oh, it killed
The-
them 5 times. The ability to restore is not 5 times.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I've died 8 times. It's fine. But no, the thing that killed me was the guardian of the first gate of the hells, and it was a spiny creature, and it had like a lot of eyes and spikes all over it, and it like ate me without any kind of contest whatsoever.
How interesting.
And this is sounding not that unfamiliar. There's supposedly like 10 of those things. each one worse than the one I fought.
If I'm not mistaken, I remember as a young lad, one of the fables that I was taught. It was of dwarves forging a prison for the devils, so that they could lock away their king.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm talking about.
How horrifying that that might be out here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm usually all for wrestling a monster, but not that one. I don't want it.
We don't know. We don't know yet. Before we throw our hands up in defeat, let's see if we can gather more information before we do that. So, first things first, I'm going to see if I can get a hold of your axe and see if I can use it as a focus to scry upon this beast.
Well, if
These
we go a few
guardians
floors
sound-
down, there is a dagger also made of its scales.
Anything will do. Anything that actually came from it to act as a focus. I've already somewhat understand what this creature is, but using a focus will make it easier to actually locate.
Okay. But you're gonna take you a few more floors down then. And then they are going to grab the dagger off the prince and hand it to you.
All right. I go and take it. I use it as a focus, and I'll cast Scrying. And my DC is 2 less because of I haven't actually met them, but I have something from them. So,
The spell reaches out and it breaks apart.
what do you mean it breaks apart?
Whatever you targeted, it didn't just resist. The spell broke on contact.
Like it didn't actually reach it.
No, it reached it and then it broke.
Like it has an inherent immunity.
Immunity would tend to make it so that this sort of thing would be blocked by it. This touched it and then broke.
As in it automatically succeeded, basically?
It could definitely be viewed that way. But probably something more than just an automatic success.
Okay. Is that enough information to make another check?
Yes.
Yeah. 58.
Okay. This doesn't sound like any creature you've ever heard of before, but maybe, possibly, it could be a creature of legend. There are unique creatures that are considered legendary creatures. They are one of a kind, unique. There's faint stories of one that might sound like this from one of the moons, but you've never heard any confirmation of what it is, or any confirmation that it's actually real. it's just like one of those fables that you hear about, and it's very unlikely to actually be true, but it could be the Trask. That's supposed to be in. That's supposed to be a creature native to one of the moons.
Have I definitively ruled out it being a guardian of the hells?
You haven't ruled it out, but it just doesn't match everything that you know about it. It could be that, but you personally do not have enough information about those sorts of things to actually guesstimate. Again, this is only a possibility, not what it is.
Yeah. So he's mulling it over, and he's just sort of thinking out loud, mumbling to himself. I am not sure if it's our guardian of the hells. It may be, but it could be. No, it couldn't be that. Huh. That's a. That sounds awfully like an old fable. Have you heard stories of the Tarask? Sounds a heck of a lot like that, but they can't be possibly real.
No one else here has heard of that.
Is he just thinking out loud? My spell, I can't make heads or tails of what exactly happened when I used it. Huh. Seems to be resistant to magic as well. I am uncertain what this creature is. It could be the guardian of the hells, but I don't think it is. Some sort of mythical beast, something you find only in legends. As much as I would want to study such a thing, I don't. Hmm. I think whatever this creature is, it is beyond our skills. In normal like D&D settings, Terras usually they'll eat and they'll gorge for a period of time, and then afterwards they'll like slumber. Is that still a thing? And would I be able to recall? Would I be able to
You
recall
wouldn't
something
have
like
any
that?
idea.
Okay. So I will ignore that piece of meta knowledge then. Is this thing immediately aggressive towards any people that show up? Or does it mostly just ignore people?
It is like we're nothing but food to it.
So anyone that approaches or even remotely nearby, it reacts with hostility immediately, no matter the distance.
If it thinks it can eat you, it will try.
How long has it been gorging for?
Oh, 4 years now? They would have given you that in the dwarven calendar, but I'm just converting it 4 years.
Yeah. I'm interested in seeing this thing at my own peril, but I think it sounds like it's far beyond our skills to deal with. Even if I could perceive it, if it has, I'm assuming it likely has a true name, even if I could perceive its true name, it may be too strong-willed for me to even affect it.
Nalvarius decides to use true speech. Tarask, drop dead.
Tarask, play dead. I'm not sure what we can really do for you. I scarcely imagine that there is very many people that can even contend with such a beast.
I did not
If it is what
imagine
I
that
think
you
it
would be
is.
capable of actually subduing it. I was more interested in seeing if you would attempt it.
I would be more than willing, but it is far outside the scope of our skills. If there's any way that I can covertly get nearby so that I can at least look at it and observe it to see if I can glean any additional insights, that could be quite the boon.
I imagine it could. But there is no safe way to approach it. And the thing moves with great speed.
Probably faster than it should be for a creature of its size.
Substantially so.
Where is the closest route to it? I don't want anyone to come with me, because if worse comes to worse, I am simply going to teleport out and leave. And I cannot bring any of you with me.
You are welcome to go. That thing sounds way beyond
Terrifying, yes.
anything that I want to stand next to.
It points you towards the staircase. Well, the ramp. Follow that down, it will take you approximately 2 days.
2 days down. Are there any other people along the way? Any other levels, or has every other section basically been evacuated?
There will be people at each floor on its way. It's only 2 floors above it that have been evacuated. Militarized only.
I understand. Could you perhaps send word along that if I require assistance that doesn't require getting people in jeopardy, can they give it to me? Any insights I glean from this creature, I will pass forward with no cost to you. This creature threatens your home. I'm more than willing to help.
We are
any way that I
dwarves, you
can.
need only ask for help and we will give it. Unless you have wronged us.
The graciousness of dwarven clans is always, sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? I forgot what I'm trying to. I lost my train of thought. I was going to play some sort of compliment, something along those lines, but I completely I lost my train of thought.
That's all good. It would have been something along the lines of... Fuck, now I forgot what I was gonna say!
Yeah, whatever. I pay a compliment about the graciousness of dwarves it's always surprising, and it's always unexpected. Something along those lines, but it's not intended to sound rude or anything. It's always amazing. You understand what I was trying to say. That's all that really matters.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna start my way down. I don't suppose you don't mind waiting for me. Or are you interested in coming down to at a certain point. Like I say to my companions.
No, we're good.
I'll trust you on this one.
Very well.
T-Rain goes up to you.
Yes, Terrain.
Would you like me to hold your purse?
No, I'm sure that if my purse goes missing, I'm sure at the very least one of you will come down looking for it.
How long would you like us to wait for you?
Well, it's 2 days down and it's 2 days back up, so 5 days. If I
Okay.
make it down there and I'm able to successfully observe it, I will be sure to give you a sending and let you know if any sort of change, in plan.
Yeah.
Until then, until then, both of you, since you've never truly experienced what it's like to be amongst a dwarven clan, this is the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
And I gesture to the king. King, would you please make sure that my companion Kevin gets to know what dwarven brews are truly like?
Of course, he wraps his hand around Kevin and starts dragging him away.
I'm gonna follow, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna get
Sabo, take care of Leuven while I'm gone.
Oh, right. No fun for me. Okay.
All right, and I turn and go.
Gonna address the king. What was he? King Fangor? Fongor?
Thongor.
Just Fongor?
I think it was Clan King Thongor.
Mr.
Clan
Clan
King.
King. Yeah. I will soon need to go up to the ship to help keep it running. But I will be waiting for your tinkers to come take a look and retrieve the blueprints. That's
You guys went down to the floor with the dagger, so he'll grab the 2 tinkerers from this floor and have them go with you.
all right. As we go up, I'm gonna chat them up a little bit, and I'm gonna ask them about the quail material. Gotta just get a sample. Hey guys, do you know what this is?
Oh, you also have unidentified metal. See if you can get them
I'll
to
ask
look at it.
about that one as well. Yeah.
I've just embarked on something incredibly dangerous and stupid.
You have.
But
And then you
Navaris's
sent Kevin to go
curiosity
get
is getting the
drunk.
best of him. Yeah, I did. Correct.
I think that identified material is the quail. I think.
I believe the rainbow metal is the one that we don't have identified.
No, rainbow metal we identified. Rainbow metal can convert to anything we want.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, it's the quaith that is the grey material.
Yeah. So that's the only one we don't really know yet. Divinity coins, Yesla consumed. Black mithril is built into the ship. Have left. Quaith, I wonder if they know it.
So they start experimenting with the Quaith, and it is driving them mad on the way up.
Yeah. That's
This
exactly
material
my
is worthless.
experience.
Why is it so worthless? It's worse than stone. At least stone has a purpose.
I'm sorry, that was the comment about this metal?
Yep.
The metal is worthless?
Yeah, the most useless metal that we've ever found. It has to be good at something, but we can't figure out that if it's good at anything.
I've spent like a good year on this. And so far I've only managed to figure out that it's shit.
Dwarves crack it in half in their hands. Unbelievable. The first new metal that we've seen in our lifetime, and it's worthless. No offense. The discovery of the new base metal is quite the what would the word? Cultural importance. Sorry, of the cultural importance. So the fact that it's so useless is so depressing. It's like if we found out that aliens exist, but they're as intelligent as dinosaurs.
Pretty useful. I don't know. Do you reckon blending it with something would at least help?
Maybe. Maybe it can be used in some sort of alloy. How much of this do you have?
Uh, I'll tell them. What was it, like 300 pounds?
Give us £100
300
and we'll
English.
try and make some alloys out of it.
All right.
Okay. And you get up to the ship.
So just to let you know, the ship is trapped to shit. So careful, and I'll tell you where you can go.
Why is your ship trapped?
Uh, so I've had 2 ships stolen from me.
Really?
Yeah.
By humans?
Uh, orcs once,
Ah, that makes
I think.
sense.
Humans another time, I think.
Yep, that makes sense. Humans and orcs. Those two
Oh,
people aren't too different. Okay, so they are going to set up some measurement tools and start measuring out some things on the ship.
going to observe because I'm interested.
Yep.
Thing up.
They're basically checking what your blueprints are in comparison to the. You got it within like
Oh, they
3% error. And then they start exploring the ship and looking around. They seem quite impressed. Takes them about a day to get all of the stuff that they need on it. They do understand a lot of the underlying principles of how you actually got this thing to work. Though they've got no idea how the actual what's it called? The tablet works.
Yeah.
That whole interface thing's a mystery to them, and how you actually got that connected doesn't really make sense to them. But everything else they've been able to keep up with.
Yep. And well, since the tablet is something they don't have anyway, well, they can extrapolate to the other blueprint. Like, in 10 years, we're gonna come back here. The mountain is floating. The Tarask is under the mountain, looking up, sad.
They deploy the Tarask at their enemies.
And
Release the
float
Kraken.
over the enemies. Drop the Tarask.
Okay. So, Nilvarius.
This is a couple days. I'm looking through my spellbook for anything to prepare.
Okay,
Since
I'll
I
give
have
you a
couple
bit more
days to
time.
change the.
Yeah, I knew it
I'm-
was the Tarask the moment you said it was petrified.
Well, I think Dark Vision's actually going to be quite useful in this case.
Kevin,
Yes.
you are made to drink.
Yeah, how's my liver doing? Probably not great.
You have the body of a dwarf. Your liver's fucking fine.
Well, didn't you have... Oh no, you've died since then. You've had your organs restored.
Yeah. But that was intestines.
Intestines. Okay. So do you want the good news or the bad news?
Give me both. Your choice in order.
Well, you've got a plus 3 status bonus. And you need to make...
How's a 43?
You critically succeed. You're not getting wasted from your first drink. Next one. DC's now 31.
$38.
Wee bit tipsy, but not wasted. Next
I'm
one.
assuming keep going.
DC 32.
I'm advantaging that. I'm not stopping. Oh, that's so rude.
You are now where's the alcohol
Does
chart?
anyone want to +5 that? Because Kevin shouldn't go down on his third drink. That's rude.
Well, Celestial didn't used to have any alcohol tolerance whatsoever, so count yourself lucky.
Come on, Nilvarius, you want to destroy Kevin's liver? Let's make this go a while.
I'm gonna hold on to my inspirations right now.
Okay.
Okay. You're at stage 3 of drunk.
Stage 3 of drunk. Awesome.
There is 7 stages.
Perfect. Let's keep going.
Okay. Right now you're clumsy, flat-footed, and stupefied. 2. Next drink. Oh no, sorry, you would have been stage 2, not stage 3. Okay. Still doing good, still at stage 2. Next one.
Nope, I'm advantaging that.
Oof.
Double nat 1. Double nat 1. Double nat 1. Double nat 1. Damn it.
Only mildly better.
Stage 3.
Next one.
Yep.
$44.
That's a success. You're not getting drunker at this stage. That was your 5th drink.
Yes.
Next drink.
$36.
That is exactly a success. Next drink.
I'm gonna advantage. I'm gonna keep trying this. 39.
Success. Next drink.
All right. Here's your chance, James.
Double nat 1. Double nat 1. Damn it.
Nuts.
Still a failure though. That is stage 5.
I was at 3, so this should be 4.
Oh, sorry, stage 4. Clumsy 2, Sicken 2.
$45.
That is a success. Good thing we started you out on the light stuff.
What was that, like my 7th or 8th drink?
Yep. He seems to be just as wasted as you.
Except he's probably got the strong stuff.
His is bubbling.
Mine's not.
No. Yours looks like alcohol.
Oh boy.
Well, you have to take the bubbling one now.
Well, what's in yours?
Dragon blood.
I kind of want it.
Also, when you're playing a drunk dwarf, you've got to do a Scottish accent. Them's the rules. This stuff would kill ya. Good enough for me. He hands you the cup.
All right, James, what's my DC?
62. Please tell me you're
Okay.
advantaging that.
Yeah.
You would have actually died on a nat 1. Okay.
42.
So, stage 7 is death, by the way. You would have gained stage 5, stage 6, stage 7 on a nat 1 because that would have been an automatic tier 3. Okay, instead
Awesome.
you're going to stage 6, which knocks you out. You take one big gulp of it, and then you're out.
Then my face hits the table.
Yep. On the bright side, you didn't feel your face hit the table.
That's good.
Bit of a failure. Couldn't even drink yourself to death.
Listen, if Kevin's dying, it's at the hands of some freakish monster, not a drink.
Okay.
Alright, I think I'm ready.
So, Nilvarius. You make it 2 floors down. Sorry, you make it... what would that be? 7, 8 floors further down to the 14th floor.
I'm assuming I find hospitable dwarves along the way and I tell them of my mission and they probably like, oh my god, what are you doing kind of thing.
Well, if you've chosen
I
death...
ask for general advice or any like specifics about the terrain and anything that he can actually
General
learn before we
advice?
actually go
Don't.
down there.
Just don't. We really don't recommend it.
I need to know, and I'm looking more specifically for anything around the local area.
Stupid fucking
And
elves.
these things.
Right,
This thing is consuming
in that
consuming your
case,
home,
if you were
remember.
going to be stupid and go down here, we recommend sticking away from the castle as much as possible. See, the thing's working on eating its way out of the castle. So if you can make sure that you're not near the castle, then it can't eat you. You might be able to catch a glimpse of it through a window if you want to take a look at it. But going in that castle, don't. Just don't.
I'm here simply to see the creature, to observe it. I'm not here to interfere with it. So give me the directions that I can try and, as discreetly as possible, observe the beast. That will be appreciated.
Well, occasionally one of the scouts spots him through one of the windows, but that's like months apart.
Well then, I will see if I can see anything through this window. Thank you for your help and advice.
Well, we would offer to bury you, but we don't think there'll be anything left.
Assuming I don't get away in time.
Fast legs, then, elf. Good luck.
Yes.
May your gods have mercy on your soul. A couple of the dwarves buy you drinks every time they hear.
I don't overindulge because I know that I'm a lightweight, and I appreciate it, and if I come back up, I'll have a proper round.
Okay.
All right, before I make the descent, I cast a couple spells. So I cast Tailwind and Dark Vision. So that bumps my speed up to 50, and yeah, I am ready.
Okay. So as you head down, the two scouts
Oh,
that are down there.
Sorry, go ahead.
The two scouts that are down there, one of them tells you, "What are you doing down here?"
I'm here to observe this creature. Try and glean some sort of insight that I can perhaps tell your king about it. I understand that many of you don't know. I have an idea what it is, but I need to see it to be able to confirm what it actually is. This creature is consuming your home, so I'm going to give what insight I possibly can to hopefully help your people in the future.
Right, well, thank you. Saw it right through that window, maybe a week and a half ago now.
How often can you actually see it through the window?
Oh, every couple of weeks.
What does it do?
Shoves its jaw through the window. The thing's not particularly intelligent. It's not that we could tell.
Does it have an unusually strong senses?
Oh, easily.
Have people been able to actually sneak around it? Have you attempted, as the people have attempted invisibility magic? Can it see through that?
Invisibility seems to have no effect on the thing. In fact, magic seems to have
As-
no effect on the thing.
So so if I were to cast invisibility on myself, it would see right through it.
Yeah.
Are you still able to cast spells in its vicinity, or does it cancel, or does it have some sort of ability to cancel out magic
Vicinity
in the
doesn't seem to
radius
affect it,
around
but anything that it targets it just doesn't work.
Okay, very well. Then I can still be able to teleport myself at the last minute if I need to.
Yeah, it should be fine.
All right, I go ahead and look out the window. I presume I don't see anything. Yes.
Roll me 1d100. The window is clear.
Do I? Can you can hear this thing stomping around? Yes.
Not exactly. So you can hear things crunch, but you don't hear it move.
Like you don't hear it take steps?
No. Make me a perception check, actually.
When I do that, I'm gonna go and cast another one to give myself tremor sense. Also imprecise, but so now I have tremor sense. I'm gonna re-roll that.
You can faintly tell where it's moving.
From where? In what direction? Away. How can I sort of tell how far away? Can I guesstimate how far away it is?
Because you can only tell what's in roughly a 30-foot area, you can feel the vibrations of it moving. You're not sure if it's closer or further away, but it is moving. Might be further
Alright.
away if you were to guess, but you're not even remotely close to being certain on that.
Okay. I slowly and carefully proceed downward, and I have translocate the moment like it looks like the moment it looks like it attacked, or I get gets attention, or it bursts through a fucking wall and it's in front of me. Then I have translocate, like I'm gonna cast it immediately, and it teleports me a mile, so that sure that puts me safely, up on another layer to run away. Correct? All right, we're good.
Yep, that'd knock you up 1 mile, 1 floor.
All right, I proceed downward. Do you want me to take a stealth check or something, or what do you want me to do?
Yep, stealth check, please. This will also be your stealth initiative check.
Okay.
I think for the sake of Nilvarius being able to live, that should be +5 as well. So have a +5 to that.
Well, I have a prepared action, so if anything goes wrong, then I'm gone.
Alright.
Doesn't matter. I'm still giving you the +5.
No, I appreciate it regardless.
So you sneak into the castle and you start creeping about.
Oh, I'm actually in the castle. Not actually. There's not another floor. Okay, never mind. Sorry, continue. I every once in a while I do stop, and I take an opportunity just like to stop and listen, using everything at my disposal.
Yep. You feel it on the other end of the castle.
Am I able to use to cast scrying, but on an object like? Oh, I can't see anyways. Never mind. So I keep on thinking that there's an open cavern with a castle in it. It's not. It's not what I'm imagining. Correct.
No, it's mostly. It's not an open chasm, it's kind of like the pathway to this actual. So the castle itself is most of the chasm, if you were to call it that. Like it covers the vast majority of it, and then there's a very little bit that is an entrance. It's really less so that there's a
All right.
chasm there, and it's more that the castle's just carved into everything ahead of you.
Okay, so that explains the reason why I just hear it crunching, because it just reaches over and takes a bite of something it doesn't have to move, it just stays right there. Okay, that makes more sense to me. I continue to creep. Does go moving slower give any sort of bonus to like the stealth, or is it just static as is? Like, is
Static
there any
as
other
is.
situational Okay, is there any other situational modifiers that can actually affect that? No, there is not. So I don't have anything else in my
On the bright
Right.
side, you're
Sorry.
not using. It gets bonuses if you're using invisibility.
What'd you say?
It normally gets bonuses if you use invisibility.
Okay. So it's a good thing I asked the question. All right, I continue creeping.
Okay. You see the stone beneath your feet. It has been worn away at.
What do you mean it's been worn away?
Like this creature has touched it and torn away at it with every step it's taken over until it's worn away nearly a solid inch of adamantine stone.
Just by its very presence.
It seems to have.
I make a mental note as I continue to just like take in whatever information that I can possibly glean just from looking at stuff. I take another listen.
Yep. Make me a perception check.
And they can. Yeah. I'm going to +5 that for the dramatic effect to make that into a 56.
Okay. You feel it through the stone. You feel it. It is. It's a bit terrifying.
Like, how far underneath me is it?
Beneath you? No, it's north of you. But you feel the stone because of your tremor sense. You can feel it beneath, around, below, and above you. But you can tell that it is displaced from where you are.
Sorry, this is a personal roll. Okay, my heart is. I was just I was like, how calm am I right now? And I just rolled a 20, and I am, despite how terrifying this actually is, his resolve remains, and he is, his heart is like beating a little bit faster, but he's staying completely and utterly calm as he continues to move on, to actually like to move on forward to see if he can get any sort of vantage point to see this creature.
You then feel it suddenly change directions. It begins charging towards where you are.
Like at full like at full speed.
Yep.
I make my way back up.
Alright. Holding your action to teleport?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Waiting
Still
until you
preparing
catch
an
a
action.
glimpse of it?
Yeah.
Alright. This is what you catch a glimpse of.
Nice. And I'm assuming, does it turn does it actually see me? All right, okay, so I actually see it now. Does it have a true name?
Yes.
And I can indeed perceive it. Does it actually like see me? Does it like make eye contact with me or anything?
Yes. Well, you're not sure if it's making eye contact. It's more just got fire in its eyes.
And I'm assuming it's proceeding to charge at me. You can see me.
Yep.
How long do I have until it finds me? Until it actually attacks me? Based on its current movement?
You have your reaction.
Oh, it's that quick. Okay. Yeah, he uses translocate and he gets the fuck out of there. What do I see in the last moments before the spell goes off?
You see it preparing its hell breath. As it was
And then
going to breath
I
attack you.
Nice. Okay. Well, yeah, so I teleport back up. Do I
Alright.
hear when I teleport back up, do I hear anything down from down below? Any sort of ruckus?
No. Surprisingly quiet for how terrifying that was.
As he teleports back up, probably, there's probably other dwarves. I'm assuming is this level completely empty? Or
This
is there
level is. Well,
dwarves in
this
this
level's
level?
military leveled.
Okay. Well, then all of a sudden Ilarius pops up and I imagine there's, dwarves there and he taking a moment to catch his breath. Get a little panic there a second ago. And I basically confirm that's a gatekeeper of the hells then, correct? Not what we expected. Considering I
You
actually
could make
saw
that
it, can I actually
guesstimation.
make another check? I can make another check then, since I actually saw it firsthand.
Yep.
Let's try and do better, please. There we go. I'll take that.
Okay. That creature shares characteristics of the Trask, but it also... It's not complete. It doesn't have enough from what the fables show. Well, tell. It's not large enough, it's not beastly enough. It's definitely shows signs of being diabolic.
Well, I take a moment to sit and think about this creature. And I'm going to go back down to the window where the scouts are at.
Alright.
They just watched you walk through the door to your death, and then you're gonna show up behind them again.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, any sort of reaction when they see that?
A hot diggity damn, I thought you died.
He looks through the window. Can I see the creature?
No.
Does he just show? If I waited a moment longer, then I'm sure I would have been burnt to a crisp. But I'm not sure what to make of it. It's definitely a devil of some sort, but it shares features of a Tarask, it seems like. I was hoping that it would have poked its head up and I can attempt something else, but it's not going to do anything. It's not going to come up here. I'm just gonna wait around. Maybe it might get curious and pop its head through the window. I wait around for a little bit to see if it happens to like be around.
It doesn't pop its head back through the window, but occasionally you do feel it.
I do what?
You feel it through the ground.
Well, this is about as much as I am willing to commit my life to for the day. Thank you for being the guides that you were. Take care of yourselves. I'm gonna go. Thank you. I leave the scouts and start my way up. I throw out a sending to Sabo and said he's I'm on my way back up.
Hmm.
Probably better that you sent it to Sabo and not Kevin, because Kevin's probably still drunk and asleep.
Okay.
Well, it was two. This was 2 days down, so you had some recovery time. Unless you have a 2-day long hangover.
You told the king directly to get Kevin as drunk as he.
I didn't say that. I just said make you appreciate Bruce. I said nothing about getting you 2 days straight.
I'm pretty sure to a dwarf those are the same thing.
You're not wrong, but semantics. When I get back up, Issa's on the ship. She was able to identify gatekeeper of the hells. So before. So I'm actually interested in actually going. Obviously, I'd go to the king, tell him what exactly I saw, and that I'm gonna try and find out more information for him, and then I'll go up to go find Isla. Tell her what exactly he saw. See if she can actually gain have any other insights.
All
So I'm
right.
not sure if we're gonna do anything else or skip to that. Either way, there's 2 days that pass. I'm interested in the interaction with Isla, whether she calls him an idiot.
Let the dwarves find the use for the shit.
That's actually what I'm currently looking at. Okay. So, in theory, from everything that they show you about it, you would be able to figure out one use for it. It could be used as non-lethal bullets.
That's the best we can do.
That's it.
Rubber bullets. Okay, but also it's not like we can get more of it.
Well, yeah. I'm not saying that's a good use for it. I'm just saying that that is what you and them have been able to conclude. Well, what they've been able to help you conclude.
Okay.
Because even they couldn't get that far.
Do I think that there's any chance I'm gonna figure anything else out with it after
Maybe one
seeing
day.
them work on it? But probably not.
Probably not. It doesn't really work as any. It combines with most metals to become an alloy. It just doesn't do anything but make that metal worse.
Okay. How is there a way to work it to not be clear that it's worse?
Well, I'd imagine
Or
so.
so if I wanted to make something that's deliberately shit, but doesn't look shit.
Yep, you could do that.
Okay, I found the use for it.
Traps, of course.
Well, different kind of traps, but yes.
Yeah.
Which material was this? Because there was two other things that we didn't actually look at. They was on the chart here. There was the rainbow metal and the quote unquote X material that we had. It was noted back in December, but there wasn't anything done with it.
So the X material is the grey material that this is, and the rainbow material is a
Uh,
duplication material that becomes whatever material it's placed into contact with.
Oh, neat.
No, wait.
Yes, that's what it was.
Well, no, we have gray material and we have quite, which
That's
is
the
the
same
thing that we
thing.
have. No, they're listed separately
Where?
in the ship loot.
Ah,
We have 352 of the quite, and we have 11 bulk of gray material.
material X, James, whatever it is. Listed it as material X. I thought it was separate, and then I thought it was not.
Let me see, where is material X?
Yeah, ship loot and loot.
Coins worth of material X, which is a grey material.
Yes.
That should have been quite, which means I did not remove the correct material because you spent in air quotes some of the quite, and I might have subtracted it from the quite and not the material X.
Well, so is material X and Quake the same thing or not?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We named it the material ass.
Hmm.
Right. Well,
Okay.
I think we're. Yeah. Would they note the black mithril? Would they tell me what's special about it, perhaps?
You have
Oh yeah,
Dark Elf Mithril.
Kevin is fully dressed in black mithril right now.
When you ask about it, Dark Elf Mithril.
Okay.
It
Didn't
is
see anything.
as good as Mithril in most regards. Incredibly rare since the Dark Elves no longer know how to make it.
Huh.
Is there anything better or worse than regular mithril about it?
Well, in the Shadowfell, it allowed you to hide in the shadows. Might do the same here in some regions. Other than that, it's
Fair
not
enough.
too different from Mithril / Shadow Silk. The only difference is there's slightly more of it used in whatever you make of it.
Thanks. I guess we can go back. I don't know. I think we're
Alright.
How drunk did Kevin get? Did they keep going with him?
Well, every day after work they drank.
And they made sure to include Kevin on that because Novaria said so.
Well, if you drink, you've got to work.
Ah, I see, I see.
And if you work, you've got to drink. They tell you of the stories of drow who have captured a single dwarf, and they've taken an army of 10,000 strong to go and take him back. You also hear stories about how hundreds, if not thousands, of dwarves have died just to rescue a single one, or to avenge a single one as well. It's never about any sort of math involved, it is about the principle of the matter.
I understand completely.
Alright. So, let me see. With that, do you guys head back to the ship?
I think so.
I guess, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Sabo,
I go.
Yep.
you are going to be presented with a dwarven forging hammer.
Huh.
It is plus
Gift?
5 quality adamantine. Just because they're impressed with the designs.
Phew.
It'd be explained to you that if you were to ever melt this down to make it into something else, that would be a great insult to this clan.
Okay, so noted. It will go on my smelting hammer collection wall that I start with this.
Okay.
He makes sure to tell the Forge King that if he discovers anything else other than what he found out, that he'll be sure to give him. He'll make sure to send him a message. Anything that he can find out that might help them deal with this creature.
Alright.
But I also afterwards make sure to find Isla.
You'd find Yes on the ship. She's been helping take care
Yes.
of Leuven.
Isla, a moment.
Yes?
these dwarves have a creature that has been consuming their territory level by level. I managed to go down into the depths and actually perceive the creature, and I managed to get out before it managed to breathe on me. And perhaps you may be able to glean additional
A
insights
dragon?
from what I saw. It was not a dragon. The At first it had some similarities to being another gatekeeper of the Hells, but it also sounded very similar to a Tarask of myth. That it seemed to have both qualities. And I proceeded to describe it to her in as much with every detail that he can recall.
No, that's not a Trask.
Oh no, it's definitely not a Tarask, but I'm uncertain. It did have a true name that I was able to perceive as well.
I can't say I've ever heard of a creature like that. This sounds like a abomination. Abomination
But
is
it's not.
a godly word for a hybrid.
But it definitely doesn't sound like a gatekeeper then. Yes.
Oh, I don't think it is. It wasn't
Well, it's
found
gonna
guarding a
be something.
gate. And I imagine that a gatekeeper would have done everything it could to get back to the gate. Sounds too
This one seems like
unintelligent.
gorging. No, it's just gorging. I will tell. Well, at least I know it's not a gatekeeper. We just don't know what the hell it is. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay. So with that, are you guys going to set out to head back?
Someone has a plan for dealing with this creature, which we don't.
I would to do treat to speech on it, but unfortunately,
Yeah, it eats magic.
that require it's I don't know, it may still be susceptible to true speech, but it's kind of hard to test that when I have less than a moment to react.
Its movement speed is 110 feet per action.
I have an idea of what we can do with it. I
Well,
actually know how to kill it.
Put a wall in front of it.
Hmm.
We feed it quaith.
Infuse it with quaith. Make it worse at everything.
Yeah.
Okay. But with that, that is where we're going to have to end the session. I know it's slightly early, but I am going to have to go.
All right.
Oh, okay.